Reviews, the biggest news, the what's new, and the who's who. Welcome to the Daily Gamer Podcast with Joe Mango and James.
Welcome to the Daily Gamer Podcast number 3 with me, Joe Mango, and James.
YOLO.
So just a little bit of a rundown. Daily Gamer, we do a bunch of different stuff, really. We do content about, gaming news, gaming reviews, pretty much just everything gaming.
Talking about gaming, community stuff.
And every week we like to do a bunch of different, features, if you like. We've got a top 5 coming up. We've got your weekly news. But we always like to get a really good guest. And I feel like we've got a great guest this week. Bibi, welcome.
I really love the introduction. Thank you so much, Joe. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm honored to be able to speak to the fans about all the new gaming industry stuff. And yeah, today's topic is really exciting, so make sure you listen to it.
It is very exciting. So we're talking games you wish someone could remake.
True.
Not necessarily, we don't have a specific person would remake, just anyone, please remake these games.
Yeah.
What would you go with, Bibi?
Honestly, I have quite a few, and I'm sure you guys listening to this probably already have a few games popping into your mind. My first pick would be Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Oh, yeah.
So a game that's always a classic. I enjoyed the first part, the second part. I've always just wanted to go onto the game, fiddle around, try to do as many tricks as possible, get the points. And I feel like back in the day, the mechanics were so limiting. And with today's technology, with today's coding power, with today's data and the space that we have, I'm sure this game could be 10 times fold as good as it used to be.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but they've done that.
They've remade it?
They've remade 1 and 2.
About 2 years ago, I think.
I haven't heard that.
No, really.
And
so they remade it, but they did all the same music and stuff, and then added new music as well. So
interesting.
Same mechanics, but slightly improved. Quality of life improvement.
You guys know what I'm doing tonight.
yeah.
Get that downloaded.
No, yeah, definitely. Well, James, you got one that hasn't actually already been remade?
Yeah, well, I could make the same mistake, but Zool. Okay, showing my age again, but on the Atari, showing my age again. That was a classic side scroller. I used to play with a joystick. It was
wow!
Yeah. And he was a little character. I don't remember what he was, but he was something animalistic. But he was black, and he sort of jumped around in the Chupa Chup worlds.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Do you remember?
I think, yeah.
He looked like a bean.
Yes.
Like a little, and his like red eyes and stuff.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
He had a sword and a shield as well, from what I remember.
I don't remember.
How long ago was this, James?
This was probably when I was 9 or 10.
Okay, so
years
what?
Old.
25 years ago?
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more.
I was born then.
Oh, jeez.
I'm an oldie.
Okay, cool. So Zool, I've got one, Splinter Cell.
Okay.
Do you remember that game? It was a Tom Clancy game. You were like a assassin.
True.
I guess who was
You're
also like a spy.
What was his name?
Splinter,
He's
last name Cell.
Mr. Cell.
Mr. Cell. But yeah, that was a great game because you'd have to be incognito the whole time. You weren't allowed to be shown, so you had to stick to the shadows. You had to shoot the lamps to create more shadow. Yeah,
stealth game.
And then even climbing through vents. And I love it because you'll be in the rafters, and someone would walk past. You have to yank them up, tie them up in the rafters or whatever, move them to another spot if you needed to. And that was a great game. And I don't know why they haven't remade it.
It's influenced a lot of modern games now. So there's parts of it in a lot. With the sort of stealth aspect as well.
It was a tough game because they would only give you limited bullets. They would give you maybe, in your gun you've got 8 bullets and maybe 1 reload. So 16 bullets for your whole mission. Wow. And it was really some missions you actually couldn't actually get more bullets or even more health and stuff. So
you had to be smart.
It was so hard. Yeah. And if you obviously, going back to the older game style, if you messed up in that level, you had to start again.
For sure.
If you were low on health and had no more bullets left, you just had to start again and try and do it better the next time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one for sure. I don't know why they haven't done it already.
I mean, I do agree with James. It did influence a lot of games, so like the Hitman series and the Batman series as well had a lot of stealth and like you gotta do certain missions with like as few resources as you can get. So I do think maybe it will eventually happen. I think it was just not in someone's mind yet.
I get you. Well, I guess maybe like the Hitman's taken over and got really popular, so maybe they're like, we don't want to like step on that
toes. The espionage theme has been done.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot.
Bibi, you got any more?
Oh, Bully.
Yeah.
Again, another classic. Loved the game. I think the mechanics could just again improve so much, and I believe even like into the psychological side, the way that bullies are portrayed nowadays would be very interesting to see how this could be like be involved in a game. So like how you can get a cancel culture, how you can get punished for things like that, how social media
bullying.
So a lot of things to like include in the game, and I feel like if someone really puts their mind into this, they can do something really cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing this specifically.
They have done a few Unreal Engine like adaptations of like certain games, and Bully was one of them.
Yeah, they like remastered it kind of, right?
Yeah, so
but
like
I guess it was still like the old. Yeah, you're right. But it wasn't
Or
like brought into this era. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If they remade it, I did see something about that. But that would be a great. I mean, I've got to be honest. I never actually played it, but I have seen gameplay of it and seen stuff about it, and I know that for the people that did play it, that is one of the games that will kind of always stay on their mind.
For sure, yeah,
definitely.
No, I like it.
It gave you that freedom, when you're in school, and especially coming from this conservative culture, it would be really hard to like to be naughty or like to go out of the way. And that video game was a getaway. Oh no, I can break the chair, I can throw things on the teacher and stuff like that. So it was like whatever was going on into my imagination just portrayed in a game, and it was pretty interesting.
And I assume, and I mean, this might be stereotyping a little bit, but most gamers probably aren't the bullies. They're probably the ones getting bullied, right?
I mean, I definitely was.
Debatable, but yeah.
You were the bully or getting bullied?
I was getting bullied.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
That's all right. I'm a stronger man now. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, baby.
Did the game bully help you?
Yes, it did.
Okay, great. James, you got any more?
I mean, here's a debatable one, but GoldenEye.
Yeah.
I mean, something that we could consider as being an untouchable classic, as in it's that good, just leave it alone and don't remake it. But there's been, hearsay about remaking that, and I think they should.
Yeah.
But they have to pay it good respect.
True. So what I think is if they just remaster it, right? Maybe do an Unreal Engine 5, make it look modern, but it's the exact same game pretty much, but it just looks a lot better. Or did you like the whole blocky?
The blocky thing, I mean, the paintball mode, I mean, you can't like go wrong. The big heads.
But also, it would be nice to, I mean, I feel like it would never be as good as the original.
For sure.
But I feel like people still would play it and have fun playing it.
For sure. This is exactly what I feel about Final Fantasy. So I like the remaster, I like the game, but for me, it's always been the old one, the original one. And even though it was complete garbage graphics, it was complete randomness, but that game will always have a place in your heart. And I think every Final Fantasy fan out there would pretty much agree.
So. I definitely get you with that. Like kind of before we were chatting about RuneScape. And I mean, even still, like the graphics weren't great, but it's still a great game. And when you look back at like movies from like the 70s and 80s, and they were doing like really terrible, not even CGI, but that sort of stuff. And you look back at it now, you're like, that's really bad. But the movie is actually still really good.
True.
Even Karate Kid, right? I mean,
of course.
Not that it had CGI in it, but it was not the best, cinematography that they have now and using all these visual effects and stuff, but it's still a great movie.
True.
They tried to remake it, and I thought it was way worse with Jaden Smith.
Agreed.
Yeah, forgettable.
I just think it's more of what we felt when we played or when we watched those movies. I think it has to do with us going back at a certain time of our lives, and I enjoyed that moment. I was happy at that time. I really had the thing. There's a sentimental connection between you and like the younger you, and how you really enjoyed that time. And back in the day was a whole different culture, a whole different style of living as well. And I feel like looking at it now, it's very hard to compare, especially for the new generation. I think it's just really hard to tell, but yeah, I think it's more of like the sentimental value that you get out of the games that you're playing.
Because I feel games are so much more accessible now.
For sure.
That
it's
people take it for granted a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you were like, now you could be at school and you could be playing a game on your phone. But before, we were like, got to get home so I can get on my PlayStation or
For sure.
whatever.
And make sure no one's using the phone so you can do dial-up.
Exactly. Not just that, but even getting the CDs. Like, I remember we had a small shop at my place, like in my town. And these CDs would get sold immediately.
Wow,
and like if you're let's few minutes late and you don't have a CD and you have to wait like till he restocks. It was that's all, And you want to trade CDs, and there was a whole culture behind the whole. And now it's just like go to Steam, buy it online. So I think they do take it for granted.
I also had the issue. I got 4 brothers, so we would have to with my 2 younger brothers especially. We're playing RuneScape and it'll be like, all right, I'll do 30 minutes, then you do 30 minutes, then you do 30 minutes, then I'll do 30 minutes. And, now it's just everyone can have a laptop and it's not really that expensive. But back then it was like we had one computer at home. And if my dad,
copy of it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And if my dad wanted to use it or my mom wanted to use it. So it was like so hard to try and get on. I always would, I guess wait for them to go to sleep and then sneak out and try and play it. But yeah, I guess... that was the issue back then compared to today. I got another game which I feel like it's kind of on the same vein of Splinter Cell a little bit. It's Max Payne. I did actually speak about this last week on the podcast as well. But I think that was a great game. But yeah, like I guess going back to Max Payne as well, I feel like it has influenced a lot of games going forward with those slow-mo shooting, Red Dead Redemption, that sort of thing.
They went up to Max Payne 3. That was...
Oh, they're doing a sequel?
No, it was done. Max Payne 2 and 3 have already come out.
But that was like a long time ago, right?
I'd say, 5-6 years ago, maybe.
Okay. Wow, I thought it was longer than that.
Yeah.
I thought it was longer than that. But yeah, that was a great game as well.
Yeah, that first one.
For sure.
Again, like bringing up what we talked about last week, or those games that you wish you could play for the first time again. Max Payne is definitely one. Yeah.
I think sometimes... just companies, try to take as much as possible out of a game. Like sometimes, having an extra game or like a sequel is sometimes not the best option. Sometimes you gotta let things end the right way, and sometimes just trying to suck every dollar out of something is not the best strategy out there.
We kind of chatted about that last week with Assassin's Creed, to be honest with you. And then also I really loved Uncharted when it first came out, but then by like the 3rd and the 4th I was like, it's still a good game, but it's the same like you got to go here, there's a little puzzle, and then now you got to shoot like a bunch of guys that are coming out of nowhere and try and beat them. You're beating them, and then you just do it again. So the rinse and repeat of those Uncharted games for me, I just got a bit like sick of it towards the end.
I think it's just mainly the developers being lazy. I mean, one company that I really want to give a shout out to is Square Enix. These guys really know how to create games, and I feel like a lot of like highlight is going on them these days, because like one game that they did very well is Life is Strange. Every sequel, even the prequels that came, it's always different. They try to come up with new different game mechanics, storylines, and I feel like they really put the effort. And I just wish every developer or publisher out there would just put as much effort into developing the games.
I feel like they take their time as well.
For sure, yes.
And writing a good story really helps too, yeah.
So if developers and publishers just do that in general, I think we'd see those good remakes eventually, and just better games in general. I feel it's rather than just sticking to what makes you more money, what's easier to develop, do something good for the players as well.
Exactly. I feel like Elden Ring did that, right? They were like, hey, let's get a good story. Let's get like the best fantasy writer out there right now to come and write our story and lore and all that.
That's true.
And then use
J.R.R. Martin, right? Yeah, I forgot his name for a second.
Yeah, and use like a game mechanic that's really successful since the first Dark Souls. Recycle that, make it look good, put a good author behind it.
Yeah.
Then you've got something great.
True,
Game of the year, I reckon.
Probably.
Yeah, most likely.
I reckon so. I mean, God of War is going to be great, but
Not
it's coming
too
out.
much.
It's coming out right at the end of the year as well. Whereas everyone's had Elden Ring since February, going like it's amazing.
But you never know. You never know. Ragnarok could still hit it.
It does. I mean, I have looked at gameplay footage and stuff. It does look like it's going to be good, but
Funny enough, the game itself is a little bit different. So, like, I've heard this from God of War fans. They don't like how it's different. You're not playing with Kratos in the beginning, so they thought that was like a new thing that they didn't actually like. So I wanna actually see that happen, like when they start playing it and stuff. So it was kind of mixed opinions, but then again, no one's expecting anything yet. They're just waiting for them to play.
Yeah. You just got to wait for the game to come out. Sure. I'm going to keep going on this topic that we've got right now, which is games you wish someone would remake. Have you got any more, James?
Something from the racing category.
Okay.
Wipeout.
Why is that ringing a bell?
The little futuristic racer, the little cars that look like planes, but they go across the roads.
Okay,
right?
Yeah,
I think arcade racer.
Is that an old game?
It's old, yeah. It's like PS1 time. But they haven't made a dedicated new Wipeout. And I want that.
I'm trying to remember, like, the name rings a bell, and like what you're saying, like, I just can't remember it exactly.
It's like, it's a race sci-fi racer, basically.
I feel like I know which one you mean, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm right.
Little cars that look like little flying triangles, and they go really fast.
Oh, yes. Okay. And then you I know which one you mean. I know what you mean. And it's kind of like the screen is moving, and you're that kind of like
just go
graphics.
Really fast.
Yeah.
Speed.
Yeah. No, I meant like, when they made those games back then, it's like instead of you like moving through the scenery, it's like the scenery was moving and you're actually staying still.
Just right and left.
You know what I mean?
It was 3D. It was
Crazy Taxi, was it? Or Crazy, the one that goes like beep?
Oh, yeah. They had the arcade game for that as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Crazy Taxi. I played that on the Dreamcast.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Remember that?
No.
I do.
I know of it. I got another one. Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle-earth.
Okay. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings
No?
fan, just to put it out there.
Boo.
Just saying.
I won't get into that.
But it's a good game.
I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan.
Oh.
That's why I'm not getting into it. But I remember playing, there was a couple of Lord of the Rings games, and I pretty much played them all, I think. But this Battle for Middle-earth on PC, and I just loved playing that game. It was kind of like how Age of Empires works in a way, where you have to like, get your troops, you build them up, you have to build barracks and stuff, and then you can get them better armor and whatever. But it was great because you actually get to play like Helm's Deep, which is like from the Two Towers movie.
Was it like a strategy, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was like, I
think RTS game, yeah.
Yeah. But it was that was fantastic, and I know they are bringing out a new game. They've got Gollum. There's the Gollum game coming out, which does look cool, but completely different to.
I think it's a completely new developer for that as well.
Really, yeah, probably. But I mean, that to be honest, I was a little bit mixed about that with the Gollum one. I was looking at the gameplay footage and going,
yeah, but it's basically Splinter Cell, but in the
as Gollum.
Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's true.
Stealthy Gollum.
No, I did like it. You got any more, Bibi?
So this would not be a popular option, but Harvest Moon. I think it was a PS2 game. So this game is just like really old graphics. You're basically a kid who grows up, and you gotta do like daily missions, either go play a game. So you have like 24 hours in a day, and you get to choose what you gotta do. So you either go work, or you either go waste time, or you can even like go and flirt with like the little woman in the town.
You can start a farm, right?
Yes, and potentially even marry one of them.
No
so, like,
way.
There's this blue feather that you give to at the end of the first year, and then like whoever you give the flower to, the feather to, she gets married to you.
No way. So it's like The
That's
Bachelor.
all it takes.
Pretty much. I wish. But it was kind of nice, and I used to play it all day. I just felt like, you had full control of the game, and it's like you control every aspect of it, you control every result of it. So I want to kind of see how this could be again implemented with the new modern technology and with just the whole new ideas that can come up.
Have you played Stardew Valley?
Yeah, I'm a
This
big
kind
fan
of
that. Yeah,
similar to that, right?
similar logic. Yeah.
Oh god, I was hooked on that.
Yeah?
Over COVID, over lockdown.
I haven't played it.
Oh, it's a similar
It's
logic.
a sweet little pixel retro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've got to play more of them, to be honest with you. I always see them on Steam and I put them in my wish list. I never get round to playing them.
I'll buy it for you.
Thanks, James.
Nice.
Well, there we go. That is the games that we wish that someone could remake. We are very lucky to have Bibi in the studio with us.
It's honestly my pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for hosting me.
No, honestly, it's fantastic because we've kind of been, in contact with each other via Instagram for like a couple
2 years.
years, something like that. And it's the first time we've actually got to meet. We've been chatting about games for a while, but now it's a great place to chat about games. Do you want to just tell us a bit about who you are and what you do?
All right, so I'm Bishar. I'm known as Bibi on social media. I'm basically a jack of all trades in gaming and media agencies in general. I've done almost everything. So streaming, gaming, run events, run influencers, run campaigns, run brands. I do content myself now for myself and for Lost Esports.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, I manage influencers on the side.
That's really cool. Do you want to tell us a bit more about Lost Esports and what you do for them?
All right, so Lost Esports is the first esport teams that was created in the UAE and for the UAE. They're pretty massive, and right now I'm managing their content, and I do content for them. And yeah, you should follow them if you can.
Very cool. What game do they play?
So they have different teams. So they have
Okay.
a League of Legends team, they have a Fortnite team, they have a Call of Duty team, etc., etc., Valorant team as well. And yeah, they have content creators, they have admins. They're just like a whole organization.
Very cool. Go follow them then. What is it? Just Lost Esports?
Lost Esports
On
yeah,
Instagram. All right,
Exactly.
fantastic.
Cool. So do these esports teams, they compete?
Of course. So our team, our League of Legends team was just in the IAC recently. They didn't do the best, but yeah, I mean, we're trying to improve every year, and we're trying to compete as
Are
much
they
as we
global events or mostly local?
can. Regional.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do fly out sometimes?
They do, not me. I'm not a pro player, but
Not the high
I wish.
You got to be there. You're the hype man.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I do casting and stuff sometimes, but like I think with gaming, you either become a pro player or you become a content creator. You cannot do both because if you want to put good content, you cannot focus as much on the game.
No, I get you. Talk a bit more about like what you do with your game casting. That's quite interesting.
For sure. So what I do is sometimes there'll be events. They need someone to like commentate on the game, analyze the game, be a host of like the event in general. So I've done all these. I think I'm more of a like, jack of all trades, like I said, and I enjoy doing everything. I like to, put my finger into everything, get experience out of everywhere. And it's fun both ways, being on the front side and on the back side. Sometimes like it's good to even manage the events, get people, get the influencers, run campaigns, talk to the clients. So it's fun to be on both ends.
Do you have a favorite game you like to gamecast on?
So yeah, casting has been becoming very popular these days, and my favorite game would be Valorant. I also like League, but and I do a lot of FPS games as well, so like Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege. But I believe my favorite would be Valorant. I think it's the most exciting game, and I know the game very well to a point where I can like just go out there.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it must be hard doing a large variety of games and having to know them all, especially a game like League that has like 150 different characters now or something.
For sure. Funny story, actually, I've casted Mobile Legends without knowing the game at all, which was a great challenge for me.
Are they the same characters as
No, but
League of
like,
Legends?
so I had a good guy with me who was casting, and he kind of talked about the technical side of the game. I was mainly hyping the crowd and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, it works. You just gotta note some things down, and you gotta do it. Be
Nice.
brave.
And obviously, we're in a UAE country, so are you mainly doing these in Arabic or in English?
That's actually a very good question. So sometimes both, but I feel like the region right now is trying to localize as much because the biggest audience are in Saudi and in Egypt.
Yeah.
And those guys have better relations, or like they act better when it's Arabic and they can engage more. So I feel like right now the focus is mainly Arabic, but you can find both. And I think companies in general should do both.
Would you say that most of the people that are competing in esports are like speaking Arabic?
Yes.
From this region?
Like 99% of them are
Mainly
Arab
from like
speakers.
UAE, Saudi,
Mix,
Egypt?
all over the Arab region.
Okay.
And yeah, you I mean, even if you find someone who's not necessarily an Arab, he's probably lived here for like the longest time ever, and he already knows the culture, already knows how to probably speak Arabic as well. So
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I'm a big fan of esports. I do watch a lot of the Valorant stuff, and more recently a lot of the League of Legends stuff as well. It's a lot of fun to watch, and I have been trying to watch all the stuff out here. And obviously I can watch the gameplay and enjoy it, but it's all in Arabic sometimes, and I'm a bit like, so what I'm thinking is, right, we'll partner up. You do it in Arabic, and I'll do it separately in English.
For sure,
right?
yeah.
And then we can hit the whole world.
I agree. I think it should be done both ways because you want to target as much audience as possible. So I think I agree with you.
Makes sense. So, Bibi, what kind of projects are you working on right now?
All right, so interesting. Right now, I'm actually on the works of doing my own startup.
Okay.
I noticed that I have been doing a lot of projects myself with a couple of friends, creators in the region. And I kind of want to, remove the middleman. So I'm trying to start doing these things by myself without having to go through an agency or go through someone someone who would connect us to the brands. And I feel like a very good company that's doing this right now is Division.
Okay, cool.
I actually just became an ambassador for them today.
Wow, nice.
And what they're doing is they kind of making all this digital. So rather than you have to go through an account manager, through a agency, through a studio, all that stuff, what they'll do is you'll just an agency or a company can just go into the website, find the people they need, just choose them, and there it is, all automated.
Great. So yeah, people who are content creators can go and have their profiles up there.
Exactly.
Companies can go, hey, I'm looking for a content creator. They go and look for it and they find the person they need, or a game caster or whatever they need for their. And it's gaming related specifically.
Exactly. Yeah. It's for creators who do gaming creation.
Wow.
And if you guys want to register, you can use the code BB2022.
Nice.
Done. Good
Tell you
plug.
what, you're already being a very good ambassador, aren't you? First day on the job and you're smashing it.
Exactly.
No, that's really cool. So with these agencies, I saw something recently where some of them are taking advantage of content creators and taking ridiculous cuts from sponsorship. It was actually 100 Thieves. And apparently they brought on these young kids who kind of blew up. They were 17, 18. And they were taking something like 90% of the sponsorship that they were getting them. I mean, is that something that happens in this region, or is it pretty fair?
So unfortunately, with gamers specifically, most of them start when they're young, and they're obviously completely clueless about the whole contract system, about the whole commission system, how to manage. Because as a 17-year-old kid, you never expect that you need a manager. You don't know what the contract looks like. Oh, these guys want me to work with them. I'm really excited, and you literally start signing whatever comes up to your way, and you just want to get things done, right?
Yeah.
But then later on, once you actually start going into business, once you grow and you learn about all these things, and most of them learn at a young age, which is kind of good. So even though they might be fooled once or twice, but eventually most of them grow solid into these things and they know what they're doing eventually. But yes, unfortunately, and this happens not just in gaming, but in all industries in general, like any creative industry. Many people do get signed up falsely in the beginning and they end up falling into problems eventually. But yeah, I guess it's just a matter of being flexible with whoever you're signing with and being able to know what you get, what you need to gain from them and what you have to offer to them.
Yeah,
I get
and
you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 28, and if someone gave me a contract still, I would not know what to do with it. So being 17-year-old and having to kind of figure out, shall I sign with these guys? And is 5% of all revenue good? I don't know, kind of thing. So yeah, no, I do get it. It's definitely a hard thing. It's something that they will definitely learn from. And I do get the whole, a big company is bringing you on and giving you a small percentage, but they are also kind of giving you that platform to kind of go from small to potentially really big, which might not have happened if they didn't sign. So agreed. I see both sides of it in a way, but yeah.
Yes, I actually wanted to add on to that. Most of these kids never expect to grow that big. So with 100 Thieves, all these kids never even expected to they just thought, we're just gonna make side money on the cash till I do my main thing. But then it all takes over and suddenly it's I have other plans and these plans are doing really well for me, so let me quit everything else and start doing whatever I'm doing right now. And yeah, I feel like company would get the credit, yes, but it's just a matter of ethical mentality. These guys knew it. They saw the potential. That was I know companies in general, they wouldn't hire something until they see potential in it. And they obviously have thought it through. They've talked to the legal system. They've talked to their accounts. They know that this guy would bring us potential eventually, or else they would never sign him.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of ethical things. So I feel in general, anyone out there listening to this, if you get an offer, no matter what your age is, no matter what the offer is, take a look at it. Ask a few people who are kind of solid in the industry that you're going in and take their opinion. And you never lose anything. Just take an opinion or two and then make your own choices. And good luck to everyone.
Wise words.
Great words.
Okay, so that's projects that you're working on now, but what about previous projects? Have you done any that were highlights of your career so far?
So luckily for me, and again, I think it was mainly because I was very connected with the community and with the agencies in general. I've done big projects with massive brands in the region. So PlayStation, Razer, MSI, and
Cool.
Intel, Alienware. I'm actually wearing the shirt right now.
Nice, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, like I was very happy to be a part of this. So most of the projects would be like hosting tournaments, shows. So with Lenovo, we've done a show called Hayakum. It was with an agency, and we really had fun with that show because it was kind of casual. It was fun, and there was a lot going on in the shortest period of time. So it was always fun to be doing that show. I've also done a project where I was in charge of a game publisher, and I had to manage all their esports.
Wow.
Run teams for them. So they had a game that was it was a card game that we were trying to take to Saudi.
Okay.
And that game has never been in competitive manner online. So people will play it competitively as a physical game. It's a card game. And we were the first company to do it online. And I was fully in charge of their esports, running the teams, running the competitive play, coming up with strategies for that. And we wanted to host a huge tournament in Saudi for that. And yeah, it was one of the massive projects that I really enjoyed working on it.
Awesome. I mean, it sounds like
cool.
you've got a very good repertoire of things going on, and still young, and plenty of time to do more.
I'm very happy with my experience. I believe it's like it's solid, and I believe also it's just a matter of putting myself out there and not having fear. A lot of people, and I see this with my friends sometimes. Like I give them like a job opportunity, and they go like, "Well, I'm young, or well, I don't have that much experience. Why would they accept me?" And I go like, "Age doesn't have to do anything with what you're doing. Just you know how to do it. I know that you know how to do it. Don't be scared. Go ahead." And some of them, they end up doing it, and I see a great change in their attitude, the way they succeed in doing things, and they eventually catch up to the standard of the industry.
I've always been a believer that even if you aren't 100% sure how to do it, go and do it, because that's the only way you're going to learn.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fake it till you make it, right?
Exactly. And most of the time, it works out. You're not, doing heart surgery, faking it till you make it, but... in the kind of industry that we do, it is one of those things you kind of just have to learn on the job. You have to go and do it.
Exactly.
You'll make a couple of mistakes, but you'll learn from those mistakes and you'll just grow and get better.
Not to make it sound like a job interview, but where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's actually a very tough question, because like looking back at my previous 5 years, if you ask me what I would be doing, I would be completely wrong, because I graduated as a computer scientist. And I majored in gaming, and in my head I was gonna be like either working in Jagex because I loved RuneScape at that time, and I actually applied and I got accepted, but I just didn't. Cool. I didn't have the means to go to Cambridge in UK. But again, like things keep changing immediately. Like I worked with education at some point. I was teaching kids how to develop games. That was fun at some point. And then I got into sales. I was working with one of the biggest brands, Funko. And I enjoyed the retail part of it as well. But then esports got into there. And then at some point I was a full-time streamer. So things just keep changing rapidly with me. And I feel like I cannot tell you what I would be doing in 5 years. I could have a different mentality completely.
As long as it's still gaming, you'll be happy.
For sure. Gaming will always be a passionate industry for me. Yeah. And I'd always want to be in the gaming industry. Yes.
Cool.
Amazing.
So I'm just wondering, to round this interview off, what are you currently playing?
That's a good question. Funny enough, I'm actually playing Fall Guys. The new season just got released 2 days ago, and I'm enjoying it. It's an insane game, drives me crazy, but I just love it.
Well, thank you so much. Do you have like an Instagram people can go check you out and see what you're up to?
Bibi Zumot, so BIBIZUMOT.
Amazing. Well, go follow Bibi. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. It's been amazing having you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
James, you've got our gaming releases.
I have 3 new games. The first one is Solstice, which came out on Wednesday.
Okay.
It's a dark fantasy action game. On the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Okay, cool. What's it like?
It looks epic. It looks really dark and artistic, and I think it sort of rings back to the old school sort of action games from the PlayStation 2 era. Something with easy gameplay and really exciting art style.
You and your art style. You are. I mean, if you don't know, James is a very talented creative director.
Oh, no, that's too much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's a graphic designer.
Yeah, thanks.
Basically.
Creative guy.
Yeah. And he loves his good art styles. What other games you got?
Well, do you remember Monkey Island?
No.
Okay. They're good sort of
Do I?
point and click story games back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
So there's a new one called Return to Monkey Island. And I think it's coming out on the Switch, actually.
Okay.
So you should check that out. I don't know much about it, but it's been a long-awaited follow-up to The Secret of Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2.
Nice. So if you're a big fan of Monkey Island, then this is the game for you.
Yep.
Again, I've been trying to look for new games for my Switch, so I'll give this one a go. I use my Switch when when the wife is watching TV, and I can just sit there with my little handheld Switch.
Yeah,
and
inconspicuous.
Yeah, exactly. and it's like we're still spending time together, but really, I'm just
your mind's somewhere else.
Yeah, playing more games. Any more new releases?
One more. It's called Metal Hellsinger.
Oh, this sounds fun.
Yeah.
Very light game.
This is a first-person shooter, sort of along the veins of Doom.
Quake.
Quake, yeah.
I miss Quake.
Yeah, it's very violent, but let's say its main pull is the fact you have to kill your enemies based on the rhythm of the music.
I saw... Okay, this is just coming out?
Yeah.
What's it
just
called?
Been out. Metal.
Okay,
Hellsinger.
so I saw one recently that was called... This was like last year now, I think. It was called like BPM. And it was called like... it wasn't beats per minute, but it was something like that. And you had to kill to the beat of the music as well.
Yeah. So that's
really cool.
This features some great heavy metal music from some well-known artists.
Amazing. I mean, this sounds exactly like the game from a couple of years ago. So they've obviously gone, oh, well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like it. Well, thanks so much for your new gaming releases.
You're welcome.
Now, I have got your gaming news, James. Some big stuff happening in the world of gaming this week. To start with, EA has officially announced that they are going to be making an Iron Man game.
Oh, great.
They
Finally.
said it's already in development.
Yeah, cool.
Which is pretty cool, because who doesn't love a good Iron Man story?
Yeah, I mean, he kicked off the Marvel Universe with his
100%. Yeah, I mean, Robert Downey Jr., I actually saw an interview with Robert Downey Jr. and Stan Lee, and he said to Robert Downey Jr., you were born to play Iron Man. And I was like, oh, that was lovely. So that's going to be really fun. They haven't got any details apart from that just yet. They've released a couple of images. That's pretty much it. No, release date or anything. Coming up as well, Rockstar are going to be bringing out a GTA 6, right? Which we kind of all knew was kind of happening, but a hacker has hacked Rockstar and leaked 90 videos 90 different videos of gameplay and stuff that they've been working on, which they did not want people to see yet, because it's really early game testing. You can actually see a lot of the code and stuff actually on screen. So whilst they're moving about, they can test all the code and see how it's work. I don't know how it works, but something like that. Very nerdy stuff.
Do you think that's beneficial to them or detrimental?
I think it is beneficial because people are getting all hyped about it now.
It's hype,
But is that hype too early?
Yeah.
Because when's the game going to come out? It might be years yet.
Yeah,
they haven't said when the game's going to be out. But they did say that they are continuing as normal. They're not happy about this. Apparently the FBI have got involved now because the hacker also apparently hacked Uber around the same time. Not great, but pretty cool. There are some videos out there online if you do want to check it out. And finally, Call of Duty. Right, Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2, they have released this week a gameplay trailer of both of them, and it looks pretty cool.
So sick.
I'm very excited for this. They've added a bunch of new features in there. They've got like a bit of, not quite parkour, but a bit parkour elements to the gameplay now. So you can kind of hang off walls and shoot as well, which you couldn't do that before. And also, when you've got like your sidearm, right? Say you've got your sniper rifle. When you get your sidearm out, you actually still see the sniper being held in the other hand. So instead of it disappearing and then coming back within like half a second, you can now draw your pistol whilst your sniper's still in your left hand, and you draw it with your right hand, put the pistol back, and then you hold the sniper back, which I think is quite cool.
Nice.
And a bunch of other features. That was just one that I quite liked.
But
you can go check out all of this news in full detail on our website, daily-gamer.net. And that is your gaming news.
Thanks, Joe.
James, you've got some geeky tech news for us.
I do. Something along the PC gaming lines. NVIDIA of course, you've heard the 40 series graphics cards have now been announced.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and there's a range of them. There's the 4080 12 gigabyte, 4080 16 gigabyte, and the 4090 24 gigabyte version.
Okay, so for people that don't know, because you're good at this techie stuff, I'm all over the place. Essentially, a graphics card is something that allows you to play games in really high spec, and without any lag or anything like that.
Yeah, it makes your gaming experience that much better.
Yeah, it's like flawless gaming.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So these new ones, they look quite incredible.
Yeah, overkill for these standards now, but it might change the. I mean, we're all welcome to technical advancements in gaming, and this is it.
I did see they look quite big.
Yeah, they're big.
But I also saw that they're like 2 to 4 times more powerful than the current generation.
Yeah, that's right.
And the current generation, everyone's like, "Oh, these are so fast." Mm-hmm. So 2 to 4 times faster. That's pretty incredible.
It's unimaginable. Yeah.
What else you got in tech news?
Not really tech, but it's more of a game that has finally got sound after 25 years of being out.
What? Okay, you got to explain this to me.
It's an old pixel MMO from 1997, which never had sound.
Okay. It was just a silent game.
Silent game, so maybe it didn't need sound. It was something they never really developed.
Okay.
But now they've just announced after 25 years, they're going to introduce sound which you can customize and improve your gaming experience.
Wow. That is why. 25 years later.
I guess it didn't need it. It was good enough.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for your tech news.
You're welcome.
I have got your top 5, and today it's top 5 mobile games, James.
Nice.
Starting off on number 5, an oldie but a goodie. Well, it's a new game. It's an old game, but they've made a new one. Pokemon. It's called Pokemon Unite. Right? And I hadn't actually heard of this until really recently, but it's like a 5v5 battle arena type thing. Okay. So you have a team of 5 on either side, and you're playing as different Pokemon, and you've essentially got to try and beat the other team. And as you carry on, you level up and stuff. You can get better spells, and you get stronger.
But everyone from the team is online?
Yes. Yeah. And then you evolve as well as you go.
Okay.
So it's quite cool. Yeah, so you're one of 5, but there's 4 other people playing. So it's quite cool. So you can evolve as well. So that's Pokemon Unite. We've got Hearthstone. That one's a great little card game, strategy card game. You got a bunch of different decks and different cards and stuff. And it was big on PC. It's made by Blizzard, the same people that do like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. But they've now got it for mobile, and it's a really good, fun game. Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier, is also on mobile, which again, I didn't realize. Okay. And it looks fantastic. I really, really like it. And they've actually just brought out like a new season, like season 4 or something now. You're basically just like fighting each other with like melee weapons, magical spells, and also firearms and stuff.
Check it out.
But yeah, quite cool. This one takes me back. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Another little card game for you. But yeah, kind of similar to Hearthstone. You got about 10,000 different cards, and I grew up like watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
So you know how to play the real life game?
I kind of knew how to play it when I was younger.
Yeah.
I probably played it wrong. I even had one of the little sleeve arm things that you attach to your arm, and all your cards sit in there, and you can actually do it like in the game. I was pretty obsessed at one point.
I want to see what you look like.
Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know. Is it just me? But that TV show was like my childhood. What a game. You can go check that one out. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And Apex Legends Mobile. It came to mobile this year. Apex Legends has been a fantastic game that has been going around for maybe 2 years, 3 years maybe now, by EA. And they've now got it on mobile, and it looks really, really cool. You've got about 10 different legends to choose from, like the actual game on PC as well. It's also on console as well, obviously. But yeah, the Apex Legends Mobile looks like it's getting some really good reviews, really good feedback, and they're getting a lot of players playing it.
I'll get on it.
Yeah, you should. They've got the Battle Royale, which is like, loads of people drop in and try and fight each other, but they've also got arenas and deathmatch modes as well. So if you're looking for something a little bit less crazy. But anyway, that is your top 5 mobile games for the week.
Awesome.
Well, that is it for the Daily Gamer Podcast number 3. Did you have fun, James?
I had a great time.
It was great. We had a great guest, Bibi
Oh, so interesting.
So
Really
interesting. Tell us
Yeah.
all about esports here in the region.
Good deep dive.
Lovely guy as well.
Very good.
We've got, obviously, next week, same time, we're going to be doing another interview. We've got more top 5, more gaming news, all of that still to come. Make sure you give us a follow on socials. Daily Gamer Official. That is our Instagram. We're mainly active on there. And also check out our website. We've got loads of gaming news and updates on there as well.
And if you have a particular
daily-gamer.net.
topic you want us to talk about in the podcast, just drop us a message.
Yes, please do. We want to hear from you. And we will see you next time.
See ya.